508, Josie Sparks. Number 45, Fleetwood Smack. Number 4, The Wedge. Number 777, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Number 83, Risky Bismuth. Number 95, Clock and Mermaid. I'm sorry. Number 95, Mermaid Mayhem. Number 32, Locked and Loaded. We have number 5, Malibu Barbed Wire. Number 14, Prim and Proper. Bench coaches are Enos Flytrap, Spank Alley Sally, and Pow. And your captain is number 3, Moody Boozer. I wasn't ready. I messed up. All right. And for your... Jesus Christ. I was not ready for this to happen. All right, welcome to the track, your 2023 undefeated Bloody Bordens. Number 11, Elward. Number 117, Mandalorian. Number 143, Punky Bruised Her. Number 19, Energizer Honey. Number 1982, Slamber. Number 209, Crash Spec. Number 218, Mac Daddy. Number 23, Mad Bama Jamma. Number 25, Carol Slammers. Number 508, Shake and Bake. Number 517, Smack Ops. Number 709, Vertigo Fast. Number 716, Laura. Number 789, Grapes of Wrath. Number 808, Dr. Malpractice. Let's give it up for your 2023 Bloody Bordens. I didn't know who the captain was. I got it back. I was such a good time. And then I tried to look for it after I yanked it. I thought I had like 12 minutes, so I was still like... All right, it is time for the best game of the night in this announcer's opinion. I love the Bloody Bordens. They are my absolute favorite roller derby team of all times. All right, and the game is underway. Wearing white this evening, we have the Fighting Finches, a wonderful name. They are Granite State Roller Derby. Wearing black tonight, we have your home team, the Bloody Bordens. And it was Mando picking up the first lead jam for the Bordens. All right. right, and at the end of the first jam, it was Mando picking up 4 points for the Bordens. All right, and I'd like to let everybody know, too, that you can still do a skater shout-out for this game as well. You can also vote for your fan favorites from this game. All the same fun stuff from the first game also applies in the second game. All right, and there were a couple too many Bordens out on the track. It is some of our skaters' very first game, so sometimes that can lead to a little bit of confusion. But that's what B games are all for. They are for learning, and they are for having fun. All right, and it is Granite State picking up a lead jam, but goes ahead and calls it off, but not before putting 4 points up on the board. At the end of jam 3, our current score is 10-4 in favor of the Bloody Bordens. But it's going to be Granite State starting off at a power start as the Borden's jammer got caught in the penalty box. Let's see what Granite State can do with this advantage they are starting off with. And it goes to the inside track, picking up a lead jam. A little encouragement from their teammate there, Foxy. All right, and number 508, Shake and Bake, not wanting to let the jammer through for the Bordens. Coming into turn 4, and she has made it through. Oh, and a nice hit out of bounds by one of the Bordens, recycling that jammer back over to the start, and decides instead she's just going to call it off, and that is that. Granite State was able to pick up 4 points, narrowing the gap to 10-8 points. I love close games. They are so much fun. All right, and it is going to be the Bloody Bordens picking up a lead jam. All right, and a pretty epic call off from the floor from the Borden's jammer. I think that we should have points for style because these things are very important. All right, and we are off yet again. Wearing the star for the Bloody Bordens is none other than Dr. Malpractice. Wearing the star for the Fighting Finches is Jose Sparks. And by Jose Sparks, I meant Josie Sparks. I'm sorry about that. All right, and Dr. Malpractice, heeding the calls of her teammates, decides to go ahead and call off that jam. All right, and here we are with a lead jam for Granite State. And a lot of ferocious fighting there, but it looks like number 4-5, Fleetwood Smack, is going to the penalty box for a stop block. Meanwhile, both jammers out of the pack are racing around. All right, and both teams picking up a couple of points on that one. I have a shout out to the penalty box over there. Fleetwood Smack, this one's for you. Keep your head up. There's no pee breaks on the Hot Mess Express. Love, Bones, Tara, and Lady. But I don't think she heard me. All right, and that was a quick lead jam for Vertigo. Vert is a new transfer to Mass Attack, and it clearly is a valuable new addition to the team. All right, and making short work of it, 2-1-8, Mac Daddy picking up a lead jam for the Bloody Bordens. Ooh, running through that crowd one more time, immediately calls it off afterwards. Picking up 4 points for the Bordens, not letting Granite State get a piece of it at all. We are at 24-21 neck in neck, but it is the Bordens that have the upper hand, but that can all change in a jam. All right, and we have a lead jam from Josie Sparks for Granite State. Ooh, and a nice jukey, jammy move, but does eventually get hit out of bounds by 716. Does not need to actually re-enter behind her because she fell down when she hit her. Both jammers free and clear. Both jammers throwing points up on the board. Nicely done by Josie Sparks. Currently, each jammer is at a 12-12 point jam. Incredible. We have a lead change. Granite State is now in the lead. It is 32-34. All right, the Bordens starting this jam at a disadvantage as two of their blockers are in the penalty box, and they cannot contain Risky Bismuth, and they make it out of the pack and picks up lead jam for the Fighting Finches. Ooh, sliding right through in lane 1 like there was no pack to be had. That is another 4 points to Granite State. Woo, and Mando flying up lane 1 like she is known to do. That is a custom Mando move, but unfortunately is getting sent to the penalty box. Not 100% certain what happened. I must have missed it, but meanwhile, out on the track, we have a Granite State power jam, as they will have 30 seconds where they do not have to worry about where Mando is as she sits in the penalty box. And we are having a let the bodies hit the floor kind of moment going out on the track right now as everyone is fighting. Jammer trying to get through and pick up some points. Borden's blockers are on it, and a big hit out of bounds. And Mando angrily running through the pack again. And Mando picks up another 4 points, 8-point jam for her so far. And Mando sneaks through there one more time, picking up another 4 points at a time when her team was behind and really, really needed them. Nicely done, Mando. Woo! We needed a hero, and a hero showed up. Coming through with a little bit of a knee slide. Doesn't matter how you get through the pack as long as you do, but unfortunately Mando does have a track cut, and it is going to be a power jam for Granite State. Oh, how the tables have turned. That was a 12-point jam for the Bloody Bordens. There is a lead change. We are now 40-38 in favor of Mass Attack. All right, and we are off and running again. Number 3-2 locked and loaded, wearing the star for the Fighting Finches. On this power start that they have. And she is able to pick up a lead jammer for the team. And Mando coming out of that box hot and heavy like she does every single time, forcing the call off, but not before Granite State was able to pick up 4 points. We have a lead change yet again. It is now 42-39 in favor of the Finches. Ooh, and a quick lead jam by Josie Sparks, running right up through that inside lane where it was wide open. Oh, and some nice fancy footwork, picking up an easy 4 points for Granite State. Goes ahead and calls it off with a flare of style. Yeah. All right, and here we are well into, now it's just starting off Jam 15, and it is going to be number 709, Vert. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Granite State that actually picked up lead jam on that one. My apologies, Risky's Bismuth. Super cool name. It's super cool that the pants match the name. Something tells me that was done intentionally. All right, and we are starting this jam with a completely empty penalty box, meaning that all 80 wheels are out on the track. My math was bad on that one. Let's see. All right, and we are going to go ahead and call that jam off. Looks like the only people that picked up any points on that one was 1 point for the Bloody Bordens and 3 points for Granite State. Our current score is 51-40 in favor of the Fighting Finches. All right, and yet another lead jam for number 480 for the Finches. All right, and number 508, Shake and Bake there to answer the call of Josie Sparks, but manages to get through and picks up 4 points for the Finches. All right, both jammers pushing as hard as they can, trying to make it through. Another lead jam for Granite State. Ooh, and a big hit out of bounds for Fleetwood Mac as they try to hold back the Bloody Bordens jammer, who is also now a live wire. And it is Elward who very, very sneakily makes it through the pack, picks up 4 points for the Bordens. Granite State calls that one off at 0 points. I'm sorry, it was actually 2 points. So that jam was 4-2. That was a very quick lead jam for the Bloody Bordens from number 709, Vert. Ooh, a little rogue defense there from number 508, Shake and Bake, dropping players out on the track. Clearing the way for her jammer to get through and pick up 4 points for the team. Meanwhile, number 209 is going to go to the bench for the Bordens and sit for a nice 30-second penalty. And Cutthroat Kitten getting some encouragement from her coach, comes into the pack and forces Vert to call it off to protect the team's points. Vertigo managed to pick up 7 points for the Bordens on that one, narrowing the lead, or narrowing the gap rather, 57-51 Finches. All right, both jammers trying to do what they can to get out of the pack, getting hit out of bounds, coming back in, and then making it through successfully is going to be Mac Daddy for the Bordens. Coming into turn 2, gets a little help from her friend fresh out of the penalty box. Plays a little quick O for her as she is able to get through and successfully puts another 4 points up for the Bordens. We are now sitting 57-55. There are 7.5 minutes left in the first period of this game. All right, and coming out on lead, it is once again the Fighting Finches. Meanwhile, Dr. Malpractice just literally went completely over the body of Chief. Definitely taking a little bit of a punishment out there on that track this evening, and is going to go to the penalty box for her troubles as well. So we are on a power jam for Granite State. All right, and with a little bit of offense played, Locked and Loaded is able to get through the pack and pick up a 4-point. And Locked and Loaded fighting to try to get through that bloody Borden tripod, having a little bit of a hard time, but does make it out. Picks up another 4 points, calls it off, and gets out of there. It is now a 10-point game, 65-55. All right, and coming in hot with the lead jam once again, 4:08 Josie Sparks for the Finches. Ooh, and Elward with a big hit out of bounds by Foxy. But it's going to go ahead and be Josie that calls off the jam. Ooh, Mando just literally popped up out of nowhere. There was a hole somewhere that she went through and picked up a lead jam for the Bordens. She is an opportunistic jammer, and that's one of the things I absolutely love about her. She sees a hole, she goes for it. Full commitment. All right, and it looks like we have a power jam for the Bloody Bordens. Let's see what Mando can do with this. Her team is behind, and it is now her time to shine. And she answers by putting the first 8 points of the jam up on the board. And once again chooses the hole where her friends are covering her and throws another 4 points up. And once again slides through for another 4. That was a 16-point jam, Mando. Congratulations. You also changed the lead. We now are back on top are the Bloody Bordens. It is a tied game, 73-73 with only 3.5 minutes left. We're actually going to go ahead and take a timeout because we need to work on the time on the scoreboard and figure out which of those two scores was correct. All right, and that is the end of our little timeout we had going on there. We're ready to get back to the roller derby action. And the score is all set, so we have a lead change. We are now Bloody Borden 73 to Granite State 69. And after lots of fighting to get through that crowd, it looks like it is going to be locked and loaded, picking up lead jam for the Finches. And after all of that, that ended up being a 0-0 jam. That's just how it be sometimes. All right, and another lead jam for Vert. I think this is maybe the first jam of the whole game that Josie Sparks has not gotten lead jammer while out on the track. But still manages to go and pick up all them points and not take a referee out at the same time. That was beautiful. All right, and yet another lead jam for the Bloody Bordens by number 218, Mac Daddy. Meanwhile, locked and loaded, still fighting through that mass attack tripod. They have been doing a phenomenal job tonight, but she does manage to make it through, and Mac Daddy calls it off and says, we are not playing with each other anymore. Our current score is sitting 81 points for the Bloody Bordens to 72 points for the Finches. We have 1 minute left in the first period of this game. All right, and Dr. Malpractice is going to go ahead and be the lead jammer for this go-around. And Dr. Malpractice hearing her team telling her to call it just a little too late and does allow Granite State to pick up 4 points. That was a 1-4 jam in favor of the Finches. And that is going to go ahead and be the end of the first period of this game. I feel like we just started, but apparently we somehow already did that whole thing. All right, and we are back at it. The first jam of the second period of the second game of the fourth game day of the year. Essentially trying to say this is it. This is the last hurrah. And it is Mando that picked up lead jam. And meanwhile, number 3 is going to the penalty box for the Fighting Finches. A little bit of illegal activity with Mando there on her way by. It happens. Mando going for the inside lane, getting hit out of bounds by number 2-3 Glitch, who's also going to the penalty box now. Apparently, if you touch Mando, you get sent to the box. Just kidding. All right, and Mando cruising around again. That's got to be at least a 12-point jam so far, and it, in fact, is. A 12-point jam for Mando, increasing the gap by 20 points. We are sitting 94-74. What a way to come back after the intermission, well rested and ready to rock. All right, and we have number 408, Josie Sparks, yet again picking up the lead jam for the Fighting Finches. Meanwhile, Edward fighting to get out. Her skate did go a little out of bounds, and she made the right decision to stop and correct herself instead of getting sent to the penalty box. Good job, Elward. Meanwhile, 4 points for the Finches. And Josie listening to the advice of teammates and called off that jam, but not before picking up a solid 8 points for the Finches, holding Elward to only 2 points for the Bordens. Here we go, kicking off Jam 3, and it is looking like we have lock and loaded as another Finch lead jammer. And it looks like Vert thought maybe she had a penalty, realized she didn't, hop back on the track, and is back in the action yet again. Everybody hanging out right on turn 2, waiting for the approach of the jammers, and it... Ooh, and we have a power jam for the Bloody Bordens as Locked and Loaded is getting sent over to the penalty box. Vert doing everything she can to get through the pack, does make it out, picks up another 4 points for the Borden. And make that another 4 points for the Bordens. We are currently at a 12-point jam for Vertigo Fast. And there is no lead jammer anymore, so this jam is going to go the full grueling 2 minutes. Both teams just picked up 4 more points apiece. Meanwhile, Carol Slambers is going to go ahead to the penalty box and have a 30-minute sit. 30-second sit. 30 minutes is crazy. Ooh, and Locked and Loaded thought she had it out free and clear until 716 was all over her. Foiled her plans, but each team picked up a lot of points in that jam. Vertigo Fast threw up 18 points for the Bloody Bordens. Congratulations, feel good about yourself. 12 points up for Granite State. Our current score is 114 for the Bordens, 94 for the Finches. All right, both jammers neck and neck fighting to get through that pack, but it is going to be Risky Bismuth that gets the honor of picking up lead jammer. Meanwhile, Mac Daddy getting hit out of bounds, recycling all the way in through the back of the pack, but it ended up being good for her because it freed her up to get out of there. Sometimes we just need to start over and try again. All right, and that was a forced call off from Mac Daddy because she was bobbing and weaving and absolutely going to get through the whole pack. But Risky Bismuth saw that and realized it was time to call it off. Granite State managed to throw 6 points up that jam to the Bordens 1. All right, and Josie Sparks, no surprise, picking up a lead jam. Meanwhile, Dr. Malpractice number 808 fighting through that tripod that keeps reforming magically in front of her. Meanwhile, Josie picked up 4 points for the Finches. Ooh, and a nice block by 716. I really thought she had Josie, but she managed to make it through. I'll tell you, some of these jammers, you give them an inch and they're going to run with it all the way up the track past you and not look back. All right, we have Elward lead jam for the Bloody Bordens to the delight of many, many people. Got a couple of people heading over to the box. Looks like one blocker from each team is going to sit. Meanwhile, Elward has called off the jam. Bordens managed to pick up 3 points, holding Granite to 0. This is a 10-point game with 21 minutes left on the clock. It is a nail-biter in every sense of the word. Another lead jam by Vertigo Fast. Ooh, Vertigo Fast went in for the apex jump, did not quite land it. Always love apex jumps. They're incredibly effective if you can land them, and the only way to land them is to keep trying and trying, so you should always take every chance you get to go for the big apex jump. All right, and that was an easy lead jam for Risky Bismuth. Ran right up that inside line as there are only 2 Bloody Bordens blockers out on the track at the moment. Everybody else is sitting, finishing up their penalties. And Bismuth goes ahead and calls it off. Picking up 4 points for the Finches. Our current score is 118 to 115. All right, Mando running up lane 4, hitting lead jammer. Wearing the helmet cover for the Finches is number 3, Moody Bruiser. Mando's going to go ahead and call it off before giving Moody the opportunity to get in there and show us what she can do. Perfect. Thank you. All right, and this is going to be your official warning for buying raffle tickets. We are going to cut it off in another 5 minutes. You only have 5 more minutes to buy your raffle tickets. While you're over there getting your raffle tickets, you should probably vote for your fan favorite. It really is one of the best feelings ever to hear your name and number get called, knowing that you were somebody's favorite. All right, a couple penalties getting called out here, and we have a lead jammer is going to be none other than Risky Bismuth. Risky Bismuth hitting with the old hit it and quit it, getting 4 points and then immediately calling it off, making sure that the other team isn't going to answer, but they did. Our score was both 4-4 for that jam. All right, here we are. Both jammers were out almost at the same time. It was MacDaddy that was awarded lead jammer, but she went ahead and called it off, most likely because the lock and loaded was already out in front of her, meaning the odds of her hitting the pack before her were much higher and therefore scoring points, which is the big no-no. Mando bowling anyone over that's in her way, picks up lead jam. Josie Sparks fighting to get through the pack. Does successfully make it through, but not before Mando races through there and picks up 4 points. Oh, she got a track cut instead. No 4 points, and now Granite State is on a power jam. While Josie Sparks is the one jamming. This could be the tide turn for this game. Josie making it through one more time, picking up 12 points on this power jam so far. Make that 16 points. All right, we have a couple of blockers going to the penalty box for the Finches, 2 at a time. Meanwhile, this jam is going the full 2 minutes as Josie Sparks is trying to get through the tripod. doing a little fancy footwork and a turn makes it happen. This is a 20-point jam for Josie. All right, and that is finally to an end. That was a long jam. A lot of stuff happened, including a lead change. Right now, we are at 142 to 129 in favor of the Fighting Finches. This has been a give and take, back and forth game from the very first jam. Ooh, running right up through the inside line. Bismuth picking up another lead jam for the Finches. All right, the pack is racing up kind of fast. They are on the move. Risky Business picks up 4 points, does the hit it and quit it, and that is that. All right, it is going to be locked and loaded, picking up lead jam. Meanwhile, White 2-6 is going to the penalty box. Ooh, a nice hit out of bounds by number 2-3, Bad Mama Jamma. All right, and locked and loaded is going to the penalty box. That is going to be a power jam for the Bloody Bordens. They are in a moment when they need it. Let's see if they can make the best of this opportunity with Vertigo Fast as our jammer. Breaking through, putting up 8 points so far on the board. And Vertigo Fast almost makes it through the pack, but gets hit out last minute and skates in behind the player that skated her out. And there is no lead jammer for this jam either, so this one is also going the full 2 minutes. The penalty box has been a little bit of a revolving door. It seems like the second one blocker comes out, another one meanders their way on over there. All right, and that jam is over. Both jammers picking up 12 points each for those jams. I'm sorry about that. The Bordens had 15 and Granite State had 12. We are going to go ahead and have a team timeout. Mac Daddy picking up another lead jam for Mass Attack. All right, and looks like Mass Attack picked up a couple of points on that one. Not enough to change the tide, but enough to chip away at the deficit a little bit. We are 158 for the Finches, 147 for the Bordens. 10 minutes left of this game. Ooh, Risky Bismuth getting hit out of bounds, having to recycle back, giving Dr. Malpractice an opportunity to pick up a lead jam for the Bloody Bordens. Bismuth still getting smacked around by those Bloody Borden blockers, but does manage to make it out of the pack. Meanwhile, Malpractice picked up 4 points for her team and said, enough is enough, I'm getting out of here. All right, that jam was fast and furious. Both teams picking up 0 points. All right, here we are in Jam 19, well underway. Vert picking up a lead jam for the Bordens. Risky Bismuth still, sorry, that's not the jammer. Malibu Barbed Wire fighting to get through the Bordens tripod that is keeping her at bay. Okay, well then I'll give him the Mikey B's one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Perfect. Hi.
Did you have any additional information about the gift cards or no? 'Cause I have
No.
idea. All right. Like the people I would ask are Bordens. So I don't.
Once again, that ticket number was 3732, and it was actually a Mikey B's gift card. My apologies on that. If you have ticket 3732, we have your gift card, 25 to Mikey B's.
Oh my God, girl,
It's you?
it's me. Yeah, I bought tickets.
Oh, fantastic. There you go.
I love this for me. Oh my God.
I love that for you, too.
Sorry, I fully was not listening. That's the first however many times.
Literally
you
asked
said it.
me, do you know any more about the gift cards?
Meh. Not bad. All right, hell yeah, thanks.
And our gift card has been claimed by our very own Thrash Ketchum. You guys probably don't even know this at all, but she spends every game day running around behind the scenes making sure that everything is straight, everything is situated. She has an answer for every single question that you could possibly have, and we love her very much. All right, locked and loaded, making it look easy, picking up 4 more points for Granite State on this power jam. Ooh, right through the inside line, unchallenged and untouched, another 4 points. All right, and our jammer came back out on the track in full force and fury, forcing the call off there. We are currently at 168 points for the Finches, 157 points for the Bordens, and there are 6 minutes and 20 seconds left of this game, of this season. All right, we have another lead jam from Josie Sparks. Both jammers are flying around out there. I'd be afraid if I was a blocker right now that's about to get hit by one of the two of these people. And Josie Sparks makes the win in that exchange, I would say. Picks up 4 points for the Finches to the Bordens 2 points. All right, white 4-5 is going over to the penalty box for a multiplayer block. All right, and the jam was called off, but not before each team picked up a couple of points. The Finches got 3 on that one, and the Bordens got 1. You have about another 2 minutes to vote for your fan favorite, so we're going to go ahead and close that and count out the results and see who won. Vert picking up a lead jam for the Bordens. Let's see what she can do with it. Ooh, adding 4 points to the board is definitely a great start. A nice stop for the Bordens, but unfortunately it is going to send 7-1-6 to the penalty box. And we have a star pass. Our new jammer is none other than 4-5 Fleetwood Smack. All right, and encouraged on by her teammates, Vertigo decides to go ahead and call that off. Did pick up 8 points, narrowing the gap in between the two teams. With only 3.5 minutes left to go, the Bordens are going to need to come up with another 7 points to tie the game. Sorry, I had to do some math there. As always, I've been up since 4 in the morning, so it's hard. All right, and it is Mac Daddy picking up lead jam for the Bordens. Yes, and Mac Daddy does a hit it and quit it. Successfully picks up those 4 points and holds Josie Sparks at 0. We are getting closer and closer. This is now only a 6-point game. My math earlier was really wrong, too. I know that now. Yes, another lead jam. 8:08. Dr. Malpractice for the Bordens. All right, and that score was a 4-4 for both teams. All right. We are off and running for what may be one of the last jams of the period. A lead jam for the Fighting Finches.
I
There's
didn't
only
even
4
call
people
it.
that bought tickets anyway, so.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, and we are in this one deep right now. We have 12 points thrown up for Granite State, 8 points for the Bordens. There is only There are only 7 seconds left of this period. I think whatever happens here is going to be what happens. Ooh, a nice hit out of bounds, recycling risky bismuth. While this jam was incredible for both teams, we have no more time, and that is that. Unofficial score is 202 for Granite State to 192 for the Bloody Bordens. What an absolutely wonderful way to end an absolutely wonderful season. All right, and that is that. Congratulations to the Fighting Finches. Go on out and take your laps, ladies. Spectators are welcome to come out to the side of the rink, hold your hand out, and catch a high five from your players as they go by. All right, the fun and games aren't all over. We still have fan favorites to call out.
I'll come back for this.
Our fan favorites for the Fighting Finches, 1688 Chief. And our fan favorites for the Bloody Bordens, number 789 Grapes of Wrath. Thank you guys again. We will see you next year.